Happy New Year, folks. It is the first day of 2026. How many people are hungover this morning? How many people it cost them more money than it should have just for one night? Should have stayed your ass at home. Should have stayed somewhere, stayed with somebody, got a room. Been there, done that. This is the holiday wrap, my birthday wrap. My birthday was around 48 hours ago. Can't change the date of your birth. It definitely is, for me, this is not just getting older, the shittiest time on the calendar for the whole year, maybe except having a Christmas birthday, is to have it 5 days after Christmas and the day before New Year's Eve. It may be cool when you're a kid, but it's not fun as an adult. So I want to get on here and talk about the holidays, talk about birthday, talk about 2025, talk about life. I did not do as many of these podcast videos that I normally do. And again, I'm not going to bore you with that. Like I've said many times over this year, you can find February, I believe, of 2020 to July of 2024 on Spotify, Apple Play, and a few other platforms. Nothing new is on there from July of 2024 to now. That is my fault. There was some criteria change, and they changed their guidelines, and I didn't, it wasn't any restrictions. They didn't try to censor me, thank God, and Spotify doesn't do that. They changed their criteria, and I have the equipment still brand new in the box, and I didn't feel like fucking with it, so I didn't do it. I feel like if it's just me, that was never the plan, that why not do it from here? I do it from my truck. I do it sometimes from the house. I sometimes do it from the room that I planned on that being a makeshift studio. And some stuff is done. I had to quit talking about it, man, because I can't hold anyone else accountable except for myself. Just life gets in the way. There's probably people that think I would have quit by now. There's probably people that think I should quit by now. And that's fine. But I haven't. I did less this year, and I'm not going to. I don't have no plans of doing that. Whatever it is or isn't, I just encourage you, from July of 2024 currently on YouTube. I can't go by subscribers. I can't go by support. We can't go by likes. You know, anybody that understands social media in this society, and it's not even young people, it's our age, understands that just because you get less likes and I had to take my own medicine on that years back. Just because you got less likes, less support, mainly from people you know, your family, ex-classmates, co-workers, which is, I mean, I see a lot of people out there I know that get support from their people. I do get some, yes. But like I've said in the past, when it came to my brand, and I'll talk about that in a minute, in the past when I was doing different things in the podcast, mostly all my subscriptions and my main support, people that actually were willing to pay a very small amount per month instead of just following, which I'm grateful for both. All support is welcome. The majority of those people, over 90%, were people I've never met, or people that I don't know, or that we've only know each other through social media. So, you have to learn to just not have expectations of people. Even if people don't consider it successful, whatever that is, which is relevant to the person, I talk about that a lot. I've done it too. We let those people stop us just because they don't think you should be doing it. I mean, this is a real thing. We don't like to acknowledge, especially being older adults, that there are people out there from our past and present, and I'll talk about that in another podcast, who would deliberately sabotage you, or deliberately sabotage, work against you behind the scenes, put dirt on your name, carry on gossip if they don't know it's true or not, we hate to think about this with that these are our constituents, our coworkers, people we grew up with, people we work with, people that we're related to, blood or marriage, whatever it is, or people that we consider fam. We hate to acknowledge and come to the realization that sometimes people actually do that. We want to think that nobody's out there actually doing that. Now, for the most part, people probably aren't thinking about people as much as we think they are. I had to come to terms with that myself. But also, we don't like to acknowledge when it swings the other way that there's people out there that actually go out of their way for things not to work for you. And then there are those people that think this way: if I just don't support either way, whatever it is, even if it costs very little or nothing, maybe they'll quit, maybe they'll stop. Because in this society, most of the time, if people can't make money off of something, or they're not going to get the attention or the support that they want immediately, that they will quit. I think that's particularly common among young people. Mimosa, not training today, not doing much. Talk about that in a minute. Not leaving the house. They think they'll quit at the very least, because the mindset is, if you're not making money at it and you're not making a living, then why would you do it? Then they don't understand purpose. They don't understand mission, and they don't understand calling. There was a long time, years ago, I thought that way too. We have to understand that most of this society likes entertainment, leisure, and comfort. And they don't like difficult things. They don't like being uncomfortable. They don't like discipline. They don't like accountability. They don't like the majority of society across all age groups. But I think young people, not picking on them at all, live in a world where everything's instant gratification and immediate. And if something doesn't work right away, that they'll stop. Now, on the other hand, a lot of people that I know started their podcast doing things like this when I did. I met them at different events. The original podcast event I went to in Orlando, Florida, in March of 2020, coming up on 6 years already. I had started my podcast right before that. I think I just had like 2 on Spotify. There's over 200 episodes on Spotify. There's probably like 30 episodes on YouTube. You can combine them. And again, if you don't want to do the $10 a month or less, can you hit the subscribe button? I mean, if you don't agree with anything all across the board, fine, then why would you listen to it? But most of the time, the people who listen and follow people the most are the ones who oftentimes are most offended. And they're oftentimes the ones, too, that will never admit that they watch and follow stuff. See, what we do is we see these things on social media. No one's watching you that hard. No one's paying attention. No one's hating. We'll say people don't have time for that. Oh, understand that haters and jealous and insecure people always make time for everything. And the thing is, the mindset is that as someone who has less stuff, makes less money, less material things, less status, less popularity, social clout, that there's no way that someone who has less, that people would be jealous and insecure of them. Let me assure you, I've talked about this many times. There's people that have an abundance of resources, money, popularity, social status, material things, home, salary, whatever the fuck. You put everything in that group or a few of those things, and they're jealous of those of us because of other things. And y'all know it. Y'all know who these people are. Some of the people that this applies to knows who they are. You know what it is. We have things you can't take away. It's our character. It's how we carry ourselves. It's how we move. It's how we live. It's the fact that we don't give a shit what other people think. It's the fact that you can't drag us into your arena of competition, comparison, one-upping, materialism, comparing each other's life, going around people pretending like you like each other and leaving there and talking about. You hate it because we won't even give you the satisfaction of knowing if we give a fuck or not, that we don't care what people think. We speak authentically and deliberately. We live our truth. That's the biggest flex there is being who you are and living what you say. The love that some of us have. Don't get me wrong, I am a blessed man. Doesn't mean I don't struggle with other things, but I am a blessed man for my relationship, my marriage, my mamacita, for my grandkids, for the women I have in my life. I'm a blessed man with my discipline that I, myself, take control of that. I'm a blessed man that I have things people can't take away from me. People hate that shit. People ain't out comparing saying, hey, I wish he loved me like he does her, or how she loves him, or I wish I had what they had. I wish I didn't care. See, this world tells you you're supposed to care about all that shit. It tells you that you're supposed to give a fuck what everyone thinks. That you're supposed to go around people and be fake. That you're supposed to adjust who you are depending on who you're around, to make it more digestible, to be more socially acceptable. Really, people are jealous of it. I'm going to dive deeper into this later. Maybe I'll go back to it in this podcast. Let's talk about this. 2025. I'm probably going to miss some things. I wouldn't go over this in my head all week, and then I don't capture everything that I want to capture, but I like starting off the new year right. And usually I would be training today, so not that this matters. I've been the things I just mentioned to you, the people that it applies to, you know it's true. Let me back up for this minute. You want to not give a fuck what people think. You want to not care. It doesn't mean you have to go around offending anyone. You don't have to attack anyone to be offensive. All you have to do is live your truth. I always say it, and I live it. And if you know me, you know that. You don't have to attack race, religion, sexual preference, health, weight, social classes. All you have to do is speak, and the ones who that it applies to, they'll let you know who it is. See, what happens is most people already have a narrative about most people. And the thing is, if you haven't been living true and authentic to yourself, then what comes along with that, to undo that, to unravel that, is just some of the people is going to go away. And then what happens is sometimes you think opportunity is going to go away. The invites are going to go away. The being included will go away. Sometimes people you've known your entire life, and you know that, and you're not willing to do it. There's more people out of my life right now than ever at any point. I just talked about this with the wife and was like, I was thinking about people I would have heard from on my birthday 5 or 10 years ago that we don't even talk anymore. So in some cases, nothing even happened. It's unfortunate. I love some of these people. I care about them. Didn't do anything to them. We're not in alignment with our lives anymore. And again, it has nothing to do with social class, money, anything. This is the truth. They're around me, and it's a reflection of them lying to themselves. I don't let most shit slide. I hold people accountable because I live my accountability first. I don't let people, this is going for anything, and I'll talk about this later. I don't let people insult me. I don't let people insult my wife. I don't let people play with me. I don't let people make little backhanded comments disguised as compliments. See, when people say, can't you let shit slide? They want to let shit slide because anytime that somebody plays with you, even if you've known them a while, a lot of men won't agree with this. It's a fucking test. They want you to let shit slide, little things, so you'll let something else big slide. So you can't go around addressing everything. Yeah, you kind of can. There's a lot of things. Sometimes I still think I let too much shit go, and if you know me, I don't let much go. Excuse me. So I've been under the weather for about a week. Not super sick, laying on my back. Thank God. Thank you, God. It wasn't worse. I wasn't under a blanket with chills. Couldn't break fever. Couldn't eat. It started right after Christmas night and went into my birthday. And I had to work, and I didn't take off. I don't have a problem with my work, my full-time job, my work schedule. But the thing is I'm a summertime person. I started doing this. I talked about this last year. It didn't work out. I kind of did it at the last minute, but just to put that out there, I will be celebrating in the summer. I don't know if I'll make it an open invite, uh, or I'll do a make an event, invite people. For me being such an introvert now, yeah, I became an introvert by choice, and for the most part, I want to. At this age, I don't see it changing very much. I don't know. I thought about putting it out there on my class page. Our 30th reunion was about a year and a half ago. We talked about getting together since, and life happens. It's just a different phase, a different stage of life, and we haven't did anything. The 30-year reunion was real good. I don't know what I'll do, and but it doesn't hurt. See, the thing is, here's another thing. Nothing. There's again like less than 10 people on this earth that can hurt my feelings, literally, and a few other people that could hurt my feelings in the worst way possible. They're gone. There's only a few people that actually hurt my feelings, no matter what they say to me or what they do. Doesn't matter what you cut down. You can cut down my glasses, cut down my beer, cut down how I look, my looks, my house, my car, my truck, my money, my dogs, whatever it is. You can even attack. It just, because you don't have no effect on me. It just doesn't. So if I make an event and people come, they come. If they don't, they don't. Maybe I don't tell anybody. Like, I told a few people last year, but it was last minute, and even the mamacita, she thought I sabotaged it on purpose because I really didn't want nobody there, and maybe she's right. I don't know, but I'll celebrate in the summer. I really don't want to do nothing in the winter at all, except what I can with training and getting responsibilities done. Everything I love to do is during the summer. So I was thinking about this. I've really been thinking about where I'm at this stage of life lately. And again, it might be all over the place, but if you know me, I'm kind of all over the place. You can either choose to tune in or tune out. Again, every piece of content I produce, I hope someone gets something out of it. Even if there's 20 things in there and there's one thing that they can grab and attach to that might help them out, or that you might can relate to. That's what I'm always hopeful for. Doesn't matter if it's one fucking person, that's enough. So I did less podcasts this year than I ever did, but I plan on picking up this year. But I'm not going to put a number out there. I'm not going to put expectations. This will be the first one for 2026. And somewhere midway through February, we'll start the next season. I believe it's coming up on the 7th season, believe that or not. And I didn't have any expectations when I started this. The only expectations was I wanted to get to the next level. The next level for me was having my own makeshift studio and being able to have guests on. And it hasn't, maybe I never do that now. I don't know. It's not, again, y'all think he wants to hear his self-talk. No, it's a point that if I do it at my home, everything's not comfortable. I'm not a technical guy, and I really don't want to take that shit with me everywhere, honestly, because I don't want to, I go over the topics that are important to me. I share my own experiences of life. I do everything from my training, my being an ultra endurance athlete, to music, to, I try to stay away from politics and religion. You know, I did one that was got quite a bit of views on Charlie Kirk because it happened that day. And then I do one on music. I did one when Ozzy died because that was my favorite artist of all times. So people are always going to pick apart what they think applies to them and feel offended. And that's them or your fucking problem. The things we don't want to hear is what we need to hear. So I've been thinking about where I'm at this point in life, and I'll say a condensed version without trying to rush this because I have some other obligations today. But I don't plan on leaving the house. But there's other things I need to do. Just feeling better. Don't feel 100%. It's not very many days I talk myself out of getting on back on track with my training. When I mean back on track, I don't mean 2 or 3 months. I don't mean 6 weeks. 6 months. I mean, if I'm off 4 or 5 days, it 4 or 5 days, and only some people will get this, especially endurance athletes. And it'd probably be the same for weightlifters. Like when I was a weightlifter, I haven't been that in years. I lift weights for conditioning, probably 4 or 5 days a month. That's it. Any kind of athlete on whatever level, 4 or 5 days a week behind might as well be 2 or 3 weeks behind. When I start back this weekend, I'll restart from scratch again. That's what I do when I'm done with ultras, regardless of the result or the mileage. Usually after I recover and I start back conditioning. I start from scratch again. Week 1, day 1, from the beginning. That's how I do it. Maybe I change that, but I'm always experimenting with different things. So, real quick, I don't know if I did a video with this. This is Ambassador. Thank you, Alter Ego, for allowing me the opportunity to be an ambassador and represent this amazing brand out of Florida. This is year 2. I think they've only been doing this about 6 years, and I've been blessed and grateful enough to be able to do this 2 years, and I hope I represent your brand proud. So with my brand, everybody remember Savage Mind Designs? For anybody that got my shirts, hoodies, hats, for the sexy ladies that because there was people, believe this, there was people across the globe that modeled that for me. It was something like I had like 15, 20 different states I shipped to in about 4 different countries. At that time, I don't think I've produced any of that stuff in about 4 years or somewhere around there. Wasn't intentional. My plan was never to abandon it and stop altogether. That was never the plan. But I got it back up and running, but now it will be, see this, Savage Lifestyle. That arrow is for continuous. That's me. Never stop. Keep going. The back of this shirt, this won't be all of them. These are going to be my challenge shirts. So I ordered the first one. I got the first made. First one's made for me. It says pull, push, run. That's my 3 pillars of my training. Pull-ups, push-ups, running. When I mean running, I mean walking. I mean power walking. I mean hiking. You know what I mean, being for what my version of being an ultra trail runner, ultra endurance athlete is. That's my journey by my own definition. Pull, push, run. Them are my 3 pillars for my training. That's what I revolve everything around. So you'll see more when you see the SL. You know that that's my brand. I'm doing it from a different perspective. It will be condensed. It will be modified. It will be simplified, but I feel like it'll be just as impactful, if not more. I was proud of what I did back then, and I was proud of the stuff that the people, the person that worked with me and made it. But it's a different time in my life, and I'm in a different mentality, and matter of fact, I put it out there on Facebook already. I should have put it on Instagram, but I didn't. I'm gonna put it in my story today or tomorrow. I'm starting today, even if I don't do anything today. And I'll post it, so please follow it. Look for my stories. I'm starting a month-long challenge today to start the new year off right. Pull, push, run. It'll be a certain amount of pull-ups, push-ups, running, walking, jogging, however you can do it. And it will be, I'm going to put a minimum of all of them for the month. It seem really hard to some, and it won't be to others. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give away 3 shirts only upon completion. So you probably won't get the shirts till February. Reach out to me if you're interested when you see the post. I'm going to post it about once a week through the months. If no one contacts me, no one's interested, fine. It's earning a shirt. And I've done ultras where I didn't even get a medal that were virtual stuff just for the shirt. If you don't think that's enough, you can do it mixed in with your stuff. Whatever your workout that you have, or training you have designed for you, whether it's Camp Gladiator, whether it's running, whether it's going to the gym, whether it's just walking, whatever it is, you can put this in. But regardless of what you have planned or what type of training you do, you have to do this. You have to complete it. And yeah, you can cheat. You'll know you cheated. But if whatever I put out there, whatever the minimum miles, however you can get the miles, whatever the minimum miles, push-ups, pull-ups, if you need it modified, if you want to do less, I'm totally cool with that, because everybody's fitness level is different. Everyone's journey is different. Or if you want to do more, reach out to me privately. Ask me if you're interested in just earning a shirt. Still $20, $25 shirt. If you don't, for me it is. If you're not interested in that, cool. I'm gonna put it out there anyway, and I'm gonna post what I'm gonna do this month. I'm gonna post my obligation and commitment. It's a cold month. Even though we've had nice weather here in this part of Texas, I know I won't end up doing the miles that I want to do. I'll probably have to scale back my miles. Sissy shit, I know. And I'll probably have to up the push-ups and pull-ups because I'm going to be indoors more. So, you know, this is 2025. I don't mind saying this. I can have enough humility and be humble enough to say, when people hear what I'm about to say, they might think, oh, they must be having relationship, marriage problems. Oh, I wonder if something's going on. Let me assure you, no, that's not it. But I don't mind saying this. For me, any any experiences, whatever the people have had bad years. Sometimes people have a bad decade. In this segment of my life, from 40 to now, I have to say, with the exception of being a kid, not even a teenager. I talked about someone the other day, a couple of people, and I said, I wouldn't even. Would you go back to being a teenager? Most people say that. I'd say for my age group, even with the great memories I have playing junior high and high school football, where they've been even in the playoffs, track meets, going to some districts and playing at different stadiums and stuff like that. Even at that level, there were great memories I wouldn't replace, no matter how brief they were. Great times. I still say take me back to about the age around about 8 or 9 to about 13. I'd make that trade right now. As an adult, the best years of my life have been from 40 till now, with my mamacita, my wife, with the life that I have now. That's nothing to do with material things or money, please understand. It's something to do with the relationship, the memories, the experiences, the life that we have created, not live. Yes, we live, but we've created it together. Every day ain't fucking amazing. Every day ain't, with anything, people say positive vibes only. That's bullshit. No stress. No such thing as no stress. That's bullshit. When people say, you know what, there's a lot, and some of y'all are gonna watch this, and it's you. Some of y'all are false positivity. It's fake positivity. And if you watch these people that do this, a lot of them have a lot of narcissistic characteristics. I've said it 1,000 times, they get what they don't want to hear confused with negativity. A lot of these people, you'll see them, sometimes they're way up here positive, way down here negative. Well, this is what they'll do. If they're nice enough, people like them. That's what this society likes. You don't care if you're a good person, a strong character person, a high value person. You care if people like you. You care if they tell you what you want to hear. There's a lot of this fake, false positivity going around on social media because it sells. Because people like the shit. That's why. When you're authentic and you're true and you're telling the truth and you talk about difficulties in life, it's not being negative. It's fucking reality. I probably have eliminated more stress than I ever have in my life. But it's still there's no such thing as no stress. Even multi-millionaires, some of them I know, got more stress than anyone. And most people think that that's worth it. Because those of us that don't have a lot of money and resources think that's the answer. A lot of people that are in that position that do have it know that it's not, even if they don't say it. There is no direct link to happiness and material things and money. Go look it up. There's a reason that statistically, I think I read something like once people hit a certain amount, like over 5 million, I may be wrong like this. I'm not even going to talk about money. A lot of people that are, I'm not even going to call it success, that are financially well off or rich will say there's a certain amount where people are just more miserable because it's never enough. Now, Also, usually families or couples, this is a statistical fact, that make over $200,000 a year, which is still, don't let social media fool you. $100,000 a year is still great money. Less than that is still great money. It doesn't go as far in this fucking economy, no doubt. But $200,000 a year for a couple is still a lot of fucking money. And is in probably the top 10% or less. Don't let this fucking social media bullshit fool you. They have the most debt as well. Probably have where they have bad credit now or whatever, probably have the most credit. Have the most debt, making the most money. No matter if people admit to it or not, some people will never be satisfied. That's why they always need something else. But then again, I said it in a couple of past podcasts, I don't mind saying this again, having humility. Admitting things doesn't mean you're not happy. Doesn't mean that you're not blessed. Doesn't mean I'm not grateful. That's another thing that our generation grew up hearing, is if you had something to say about anything, whether it be a job, your situation, a certain environment, benefits, that you're fucking ungrateful. That's not fucking true. It could be worse. It could be better. Some of that is up to us. Some of it's not. Everything is not in our control, but most things are. Most things, not everything. We hate to admit that there are powers out there working against us. We have to control what we can control. And we have to start by holding ourselves accountable first, again, before you can hold anybody else accountable. And you have to start with being fucking honest with yourself. I mean, we all fucking do it. How many times do we sit around? Not only can we not be honest with other people, we can't even fucking tell ourselves the truth, and we're by ourselves with our own thoughts. That's why most people don't want to be by themselves with their own thoughts. Because then reality sets in. You only can lie to yourself so long. Or maybe you can do it your entire life and shit just stays the same. But I have to say this when people say, have you seen these posts on social media where it says, money is not going to fix all your problems, and at the bottom it's like on Twitter, which is X now, says, bitch, I literally have no problem that money wouldn't fix. I feel that. Now, that is not my goal. I don't mind saying that. I'm about to get into that. I live a life of reduction and subtraction. Still got the cough, still congested. I apologize. No, I'm not going to edit it. No, I'm not going to go take that out. It's too much fucking work, and it's too much for not enough return. Again, not enough return. It's real. That's everything about my life. It's everything about what I stand for, everything about this podcast. I've been congested. I got the fever going, but I still don't feel great. I feel better, but not great. I don't have... Listen to what I'm saying about this, because people love, even if they don't say it, to dissect. I don't have a problem that I know about. Health, relationship, anything. I am blessed. Does it mean it's fucking sunshine and rainbows every day? Fuck no, it's not. But it ain't toxic, and it is not unhappy. No, it is not. I am very blessed. I'm very grateful. But understand this. I don't have a fucking problem money can't fix. I didn't say it needs to be hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. I don't have a fucking problem money can't fix. As far as I know, me and my family are healthy, mentally and physically, and we are blessed. The only thing that I could see, not so I can buy shit for me, not so I can fucking post on social media, because I wouldn't. You'd have to know me to know that, because I know what good I could do with it, and I know what impact I could make. I know how I could help others, and I know how I could change some things. Hope I have enough time in this life to do so. That's the plan. But I'm not spending my life for my legacy to make enough money to change it for generations. Crazy, right? That's not my fucking goal. Money can be a byproduct of it, or it cannot. So what I did, I'm getting into this. It'll be a little bit longer podcast today. A better, more wealthy, less stressed life is subtraction. I just talked about it in the last podcast. Subtraction of people, subtraction of debt, subtraction of clutter around you physically, mentally, everything. And some people, seems like most of society don't get that. They think it's addition. They need more of everything. I need more money to get more stuff. Like I said, I don't have a problem money wouldn't fix. But what I quit doing, I mean, I haven't done it in years. I don't make that my fucking mission. Why? I've spent a majority of my life busting my ass. Hours upon hours, multiple jobs, hustling, grinding. That's another thing. I think that we need to denounce the grind culture. We need to denounce consuming. We need to denounce that more debt, any of that shit, is a better life. There's also some information out there on the people that are the happiest. And to be clear about this, because there's different ways people would take this, are doing less, not more. Don't mean being lazy. Doesn't mean not trying, not working hard. They're doing less of what the masses are doing. Because what this society tells us, we need to be grinding harder 24/7, need to be working hard. You want a busy man or a broke man? Well, I don't want to be either, but I've been busy most of my fucking life, and I've condensed that. What would our lives look like if everyone lived below their means? Not within their means, below their means. What would our lives look like personally? What would our relationships look like? What would our friendships look like? What would we look like? Everything you get, from a house to a car, credit, material things, there are some fun stuff to get, is all for everybody else to give you credit. Mostly fake. The real cost of everything is the time we got to give up. Y'all never going to quit hearing me preach this shit. What I decided was I don't want to be dragged into them arenas. I don't want to be trying to chase money. Because here's the thing. The working class people, and most people are working class people, once money becomes first, everything else gets neglected. We just don't tell ourselves in that way. This is the reason you don't work out right. This is the reason your health's not on track. It's the reason your relationships ain't right. So we buy things to fill voids. And as a society, we talk about having bills. We all have bills. What bills can control? What is it? Now, I can't get in every specific category. There's people out there, because I've been in this situation in my previous life, where there was a point that from what I was making, I wasn't living above my means, and then I wasn't making that anymore. Just brainstorming different examples. You got approved for a $700,000 house. Crazy as it sounds, very nice fucking house still. When the average starting house now starts at $400-something thousand. Crazy to me. Low class. I guess we're too low class, and that's not for me. I can make that much right now. Unless I could pay cash for it, I wouldn't get it. They approved you for a $700,000 house. You can make the payments without struggling too bad. Oh, but you still want to trade in that car or that truck, and you still are. Yeah, you don't want your kids to drive a cash car. Oh, you don't want them to go to junior or community school for a degree they may or may not get out and use. Or maybe it doesn't equate the salary they'll make later. But you'll brag because they didn't have to get out a student loan. I still think education is important, but it depends. I mean, I don't even know if I can cover everything I want to talk about today, because so what I was getting at was 2025 was one of the worst years for myself. In the last decade, these last few years, has anybody noticed that? Since right after COVID, what the fuck has happened? What the fuck is going on? And again, not cutting your kids down on school. If they get a scholarship, athletic, academically, everything, you should brag about that, no doubt. But I think for those of us who are real tuned in, I think we're realizing school ain't for everybody. And I think we're also, I've talked about this plenty. It doesn't mean you're going to make more money and have a better career, even if you did. Even if you did. It could be. It's like that thing I worked hard to get where I'm at, or hard work pays off. It could. Or people got further because they were better, or they paid attention more, they worked harder. Doesn't mean they didn't. Doesn't mean they did. We say those things and we know sometimes that that's not the case. We're also going to see the need for a degree go away for a lot of things. Also, too, getting back to another point, I think we care more about career and jobs and salary. You notice that when people speak, whether it be their children or somebody else, it's kind of like when people ask me what I do. They see something I'm wearing or one of my Ultra shirts. I may not even volunteer the information. They'll ask me what I do and I'll answer it. Don't get into bragging, just telling them, okay, a Ultra is 30 miles and up, but I only do trail. I'm not good. I'm one of the last ones to finish, if I finish. It's my lifelong mental journey. No finish line. It'll never end. I just give them if I get in there, I love talking about those things so I can get a little long. Short on words, long on things to say, which will always be me. I own that. But before I can even say that, people would tell me about their kid. They'll tell me about their sibling, about themselves. Why'd you ask me, motherfucker? I wasn't volunteering it. Oh, I'm an ultra runner. I'm an expert, and I did this, and that. I mean, men do it all the fucking time. They can't wait to tell you about themselves or somebody else. We're married usually to our career and job. And even if some of us, if you don't have a college degree, some like where I spent 20 something years at, where I retired from, that's what I did from there. I didn't retire from working. I retired from there. I was married to it, man. And a lot of that was my own doing. I was married to it. Some people with the most high salaries that went to school for years that we look up to and that we respect, and some of them, yes, we need surgeons, we need people like that, we need judges married to it. It's their life, the stress that comes along with that. So I'm gonna go back to this real quick. Does anybody notice it's kind of been a fucking blur since COVID? Actually, COVID wasn't a bad year for me. Since 2021 to now, again, I'm still looking at the takeaways for the year. Let's go back the last few years. We haven't took near the trips we planned. We haven't did near the work on our home we planned. Where I wanted to be with my ultras, I'm not there. I'll never stop. I accomplished some of it. The way I look at each week, month, and year was it a deficit. I take all the categories that are important to me and us. Health, first and foremost. Time spent, relationships, my training, how's everyone doing, eating habits. The goals I make, not resolutions, the goals I make at the beginning of the year, like I'm doing this. I've already did most of them. Work we need done on the house, our finances, traveling, whether it be a weekend or a week. And I look at which ones are deficits. Biggest deficits the last few years. This year sucked. Fuck 2025. But, see, I say that, and people, oh, yeah, he had a bad year. He had a bad year. I still look at the takeaways. Well, we had some good grandkids' birthdays. We did have a couple of small getaways at the water parks for the weekend. Was great. I've reconnected with a family member who was like a sibling to me, and that we're first cousins, and we spent a majority of our childhood celebrating birthdays, living together like brother and sister, and we've established another relationship. Nothing happened, just life happened. It shouldn't have gotten in the way, and thankfully we corrected it before it was too late and one of us were gone, or both of us were gone. Some milestones. No doubt, some great birthdays. Had a great Florida beach trip. The last 3 years, we've canceled more things than we ever have. Now, I will say this because I didn't post this on social media. Think whatever you want to. There's people out there like that. There's people with, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to say more savings, a better fucking retirement. I'm not going to say we're stacking, because we're not. But this year we became 100% unequivocally debt free. That's a major. So that had a lot to do with us not doing nothing. I bitched about it because I thought there was a point we could do both. And then I realized we couldn't. We made a lot of major life changes the last few years. I feel like this was the worst. I didn't complete what I wanted to in the ultra community. I didn't complete what I wanted to on the house. We didn't come close on our vacations and getaways because we're at the age with grown children. We do have two children in the house. They are young, but they are grown. They do take care of their own lives. With our traveling, with anything. But we had to come to the realization our goal was to get debt free first. We might been back at zero. Yes, I'm sharing this now. We went back to zero, but we went back to zero with a clean slate because we lived far below our means. And I don't mind saying it still was a fucking struggle. Hear me talk about it. Choose your hard. Working out's hard, not working out's hard. Eating healthy's hard, not eating healthy's hard. Some of it just comes later. Having a home you need to work on that's getting a little bit older and you won't charge anything, take out a line of credit, take out a home equity loan, charge anything, loan anything. That's how they tell you to make money and invest. I get it. I study a lot of things. I take free classes. I've took online classes on a number of different things this last decade. Anyone that knows me knows that. Whether you acknowledge it or not, I have strained together a lot of fucking self-education. Years ago, I'm not going to get into it in this podcast. I put together some software. I probably need to update it of the things I wanted to study and educate myself on. And where I'm at right now tells me I've got the equivalent of damn near a bachelor's degree in one, not quite an associate's degree in another. Not going to get into that right now. There's no way. It doesn't matter how much it would pay me. I wouldn't go back to school. I never was interested in school in the first place. It sounds good. And the thing is, well, it's never too late. It is too late for some things. If I think back of what I would have did, it doesn't mean it's a failure. Things I would have been good at compared to what I want to do. If I would have spent 20-something years at my first career job, everything that I wanted to do didn't pay well according to society, and I didn't care. I didn't get it then that I didn't care then. So it makes sense. I got out of it and went to a life of reduction. Coaching. People say, well, it's not too late now. No, I'm not going to be a 50-year-old plus coach. I mean, more than that, be mid-50s by then, by the time I get done with school, stuff like that. Because honestly, there's certain things if I was going to be a football coach at whatever level, junior high, high school, whatever, there was school I would need. But if there's a strength conditioning coach, stuff like that, no, there's a lot of things I think I could do on my own. I think I have enough experience, enough training that I'm not going to pay for that. Just like personal training. I personal trained for years before I ever got certified. And then when I got certified, I just basic certifications, no specialty, none of that. I didn't even give a fuck. I never hired anyone for anything. I'm military. I knew what I wanted to do, and I didn't. Now, again, why? Because a paycheck at the time, before I had kids and started a relationship young, I had to get out on my own 2 years before high school was up. Managed to still play sports somehow, barely, and get through. But again, not poor me, but I worked full time through high school. If there was any part-time work, it was the weeks that were 20 hours or something, like during two-a-days or during the season. I've been working, full time that whole time. Part-time since about 12. Hustling since about 10. Fucking truth. I don't want to spend the rest of my life doing that. So if that means me having less, I reduced my life to that. Yes, we've been debt-free for a little bit less than a year now. So stuff is just starting to catch up. Again, I've said this many times, I feel like my life's went in reverse. There's things that people are doing now I can't do, and there's things I did in my 20s up to 30 that people didn't do. And the thing is some of it's like I didn't even do it now. What I did was I looked at how hard I hustled, how hard I worked, how hard I saved, how I invested, how I made the tough decisions I made, always responsible, always took care of other people, and made mature adult decisions as a young man. And anyone that knows was part of my life then and now knows that. And it took a few years for it to be gone. It took a couple of bad investments, problems. I have a lot more self-education and literacy now on that. It wouldn't happen now. So The way we got to debt free wasn't necessarily the way I wanted to do it. It's not what a financial advisor is going to tell you. I know that, but it was the way we had to do it. So we started from scratch 7-8 months ago. Delayed gratification doesn't mean we're ever going to be rich financially, but we are on our way to a different life. Everyone that knows us, I told you what we were going to do. I told you we're not going to upgrade. I told you we're not going to get another house. It doesn't matter. If I had enough right now, I would not do it. I told you we're going to get to the coast. I told you we were going to retire and leave those jobs. I told you we were going to make ourselves unavailable. Nothing against some of y'all. I told you that we were going to be laser focused. It's the process and the mission hasn't changed. The goals haven't changed. The path to get there has. And it will not change. So here we are, barely starting our 50s. Year or two into it for both of us. She's a year and a half older than me. Got a lot of work to do, but we are debt free. Don't mean we're not going to have to work on our cars. Don't mean this house is finished. Don't mean the bank account is abundant. But we're going to get there. But it ain't going to be our only goal. Now we can start doing more. I will not get a loan. I will not charge anything. This is where I'm at in life. Talking about 2025, passing a year into my 50s. I want less of everything. I realize now subtraction is a better life. Most people won't admit this because you want to keep up appearances. You want to keep up your status. I realize subtraction. Let me tell you where I'm at. There's a lot of people I care about that I don't go around no more. It's not just them. Sometimes I notice in certain groups that I'm not invited back. Did I go around them and start something? Did I go around and make a problem? Was I confrontational? I don't think it's any of those things. It's think that I'm not agreeable. I think that's because I'm not willing to let people pull me in their arena. So when you don't fit in a social group or you don't comply like anything and you don't agree with who you're around and people can't pull the shit that they do with other people on you, there's a lot of different reasons. Sometimes it's a person. There'll be a lot of certain people in a group alike. You'll be one person who's used to getting the most attention, and they don't like it because they think that you might be more interesting, whatever it is. The person that has the most resources or the biggest house or the biggest or the nicest cars, you won't acknowledge them. You won't blow up their ego. There's different reasons, and y'all all know that that's true. The thing about it is this is what I realized. I'm at a point, I'm so done with most things. Yeah, I probably got burned out early in life on a lot of things. Most of us won't admit we're burned out because for us Xers, we were taught, keep your head down, keep working. What the fuck does that mean? I used to do the same shit and I used to say that shit. Or what? What's the result going to be? Keep your head down and keep fucking burning yourself out and grinding until what? Until it's worth it at the end. The end of what? Your life? If you are us, on the plus side, if we're blessed enough, we got about 25 good years left. Maybe. That's fucking alarming, but that's a fucking truth. And if it is more than 25 years, how are we going to feel? What are we going to be able to do? Huh?